Paul Gascoigne shares heartbreaking update and opens up on nightmare health battle. The ex-England international gave a health update on Good Morning Britain. Paul Gascoigne, the Newcastle United, Tottenham and England legend, appeared on Good Morning Britain on Monday, stating that life's good as he promoted his new book, 8. When quizzed by Richard Madeley and Susanna Reid about his well-being, the 58-year-old responded, "Yeah, I'm good. Life's good at the moment." The conversation then shifted to Gazza's ongoing struggle with alcohol addiction, with Madeley asking how he behaves when under the influence. Gascoigne admitted, "Nightmare. I used to be alright. I used to be a happy drunk, but now I'm quite a sad drunk really, to be fair. Drink doesn't go with me anymore. But I can go months and months without, and then I'll have a 2-day blip, and then the consequences. I don't like myself for a few days. I just get miserable. And then all of a sudden I got to an AA, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and just listened. You wonder what it is, you know? It wasn't until I first went to the AA meetings that I realized I am an alcoholic, unfortunately." When Reid further questioned him about the nature of alcoholism and its seeming invincibility, Gascoigne added, "Yeah, I'm a bit like that myself. I think I'm ignorant to myself. I always think I'll be alright having one, and sometimes it does work. I'll just have a couple and leave it. And then maybe a month down the line, I'll just hit it for 2 days. You know, I used to drink for weeks on end, but now it's only a couple of days blip. But that's enough for me really." When questioned whether giving up alcohol completely was impossible, Gazza responded, "Not really. I've done 5 years. I've done 4 years. It's like anything else. If you're sit in the barber's long enough you're going to get a haircut. I did this book, number 8, just to try and help others. It's not about football, it's just like what I've put myself through. I just know number 8 was alright for me when I played football and not alright when I hit the drink." In his latest book, Gazza recounts a shocking incident where he struck a pedestrian with his vehicle whilst he and a mate were giving some girls a lift home. Speaking in his memoir, which has been serialized by the Daily Mail, Gascoigne revealed, "I soon became the hottest property in football with every club in the country wanting me, despite my daft antics off the pitch. My partner in crime was often my best mate Jimmy Gardner, or Jimmy Five Bellies as I nicknamed him because he was the same height as me but about 30 stone heavier. The first time I got into trouble with the police was when Jimmy persuaded me to give some girls a lift home in my Mini, even though I still hadn't got my license. I ended up knocking over this guy as he crossed the road in front of me. I stopped the car, rushed over and I could see he was moving. I hadn't killed him at least. But then I just panicked and drove off. I mustn't have been thinking straight and was also terrified of getting into trouble with Newcastle United. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I got a snooker cue and I smashed the windows of my car in, thinking I would pretend someone else had been driving it. But that didn't wash with the police when they tracked me down. Me and Jimmy had to go to court over that. We were fined and given points on our licenses, even though I didn't have one yet." For decades, Paul Gascoigne, affectionately known to millions as Gazza, has been one of football's most beloved yet tragic figures. His dazzling skill, mischievous humor, and raw emotion on and off the pitch made him a national treasure. But behind the laughter, the former England star has faced years of torment, battling addiction, loneliness, and now, what he calls a nightmare health battle that has left fans deeply concerned. In a rare and emotional interview this week, Gascoigne opened up about his latest struggle, one that he admits has taken everything out of me. Speaking candidly, his voice cracking with emotion, he said, "I've been through some tough times, but this one's been the hardest. Some mornings, I don't even recognize myself in the mirror anymore. A familiar pain but a new kind of fight." Gazza revealed that he's been dealing with a chronic health condition that has worsened over the past year, leaving him in constant pain and exhaustion. "It's like my body's given up on me," he confessed. "Some days I can barely get out of bed. My hands shake, my legs ache, and I feel trapped inside a body that doesn't work like it used to." For fans who grew up watching him glide effortlessly across the pitch, his genius-defining moments like Italia '90 and that unforgettable goal against Scotland in Euro '96, the idea of Gascoigne struggling with his own body feels especially cruel. Once a symbol of uncontainable energy, he now describes nights spent awake in agony, unsure how long he can keep fighting. "It's been a nightmare, really," he admitted. "The doctors are doing what they can, but I've had so many knocks in my life that sometimes I think, maybe this is just how it ends for me. Slowly, quietly, in pain. I'm still here, though. I'm still Gazza." But even as he described his lowest moments, the flicker of the old Gaza spirit shone through. "I can't just lie down and give up," he said with a faint smile. "I've got people who still care about me, still believe in me. So I keep trying, one day at a time. I'm still here though. I'm still Gaza." Those words, simple yet defiant, capture the resilience that has defined him for decades. Whether it was the tears that fell on the pitch in 1990, the public collapses, or the painful road to sobriety, Paul Gascoigne has never hidden from his flaws. In an era when most athletes guarded their image, Gaza wore his heart on his sleeve, and that honesty made him loved far beyond football. "I've always been open," he continued. "People think I'm mad to talk about it all, but I'd rather people hear it from me than make up stories. I've made mistakes, but I've always tried to be honest about who I am." Memories that haunt him. In the interview, Gaza admitted that the hardest part of his current battle isn't just physical pain, it's the haunting memories of the past. "I still dream about playing," he said quietly. "In my head, I'm still running down the wing, still hearing the crowd. But then I wake up and I'm just me again. The pain hits, and I remember I'm not that lad anymore." Moments of deep loneliness, particularly when the cameras stop flashing and the world moves on. "It's strange," he reflected. "You can have thousands cheering your name one day, and then a few years later you're alone in your kitchen, staring at the wall, wondering where it all went. That's when the darkness creeps in." Those who know him best say Gaza's biggest battle has always been with himself, the highs of fame followed by crushing lows. But this time, his health has forced him to confront a reality he can't escape. "I used to think I could fight anything," he said. "Drink, depression, whatever. But this feels different. You can't just train your way out of it." A glimmer of hope. Still, amidst the darkness, there are rays of hope. Gaza credits his close friends and a few loyal fans for keeping him going. "They check on me, make sure I've eaten, that I'm okay. Sometimes a little message from a fan is enough to lift me for the day. It reminds me that I mattered, that I still do." Recently, he's also begun working with a charity that supports people struggling with addiction and mental health challenges, hoping his story might help others. "If I can stop one person from going through what I did, then it's worth it," he said. "I've been lucky enough to live a life people dream about. I just wish I'd looked after myself better. But it's not too late to help someone else." Gaza shared that he's trying to focus on simple pleasures, walks by the sea, watching old matches, and sketching, something he discovered helps calm his mind. "I used to laugh at people who did art," he chuckled. "But now I get it. When I'm drawing, I forget the pain for a bit. It's just me and the pencil. No cameras, no pressure." Fans rally around him. Since opening up, fans have flooded social media with messages of love and support. Former teammates and celebrities have also sent encouragement, with many calling him one of the greatest talents England ever produced. One message summed up the public sentiment perfectly. "Gaza gave us joy when we needed it most. Now it's our turn to be there for him." It's that bond, between Gaza and the people, that has endured through every scandal, every relapse, every heartbreak. There's a collective understanding that Paul Gascoigne represents something pure about the sport. A reminder that football, at its best, is about emotion, artistry, and humanity. "I just want peace now." As the conversation drew to a close, Gascoigne paused for a long moment, looking down before speaking softly. "You know what I want more than anything," he said. "Peace. Just peace. I don't need the fame, the money, the attention. I just want to wake up one morning and not feel pain, in my body or my head. That would be enough." He smiled faintly then, eyes glistening. "If I've learned one thing, it's that no matter how bad it gets, there's always a reason to keep going. I've had my demons, but I've also had so much love. Maybe that's what's kept me alive this long." For those who watched him light up stadiums, it's heartbreaking to hear him speak this way. But it's also deeply human. Paul Gascoigne's story has always been one of contrasts, genius and chaos, laughter and tears, triumph and tragedy. And yet, through it all, his vulnerability continues to touch millions. As he stood to leave, slowly and carefully, he looked back and said one final thing. "Tell them I'm not done yet. Gaza's still fighting."